Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I am Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Well, to make a mistake is to be human. But to fail to learn from that mistake, not only is that rather inhumane, but it's also quite arrogant. And such is the state of the modern progressive Democratic Party, because after being completely eviscerated on the national level, one might think that they would be willing to, re-examine their ways and move in a slightly different direction. But no. You see, actually, they have decided to take the veil off altogether when it comes to defending and or eviscerating your Second Amendment rights, because they have selected this guy right here, David Hogg, as the DNC vice chair. Has a lot of people in our community a little bit worried, but I've had a chance to kind of think about it for a couple of days, and I actually think this is a good thing. So today, let me explain it all to you, and let's talk about the huge gift the Democrats just gave gun owners nationwide. Why in the year 2024 should anybody even think about having self-defense protection? Because, 25 years ago, we would have never had this conversation. So what's different today?
Bill, we really saw a need a number of years ago when the volatility and divisiveness of our country started to change drastically. And we, by the way, are gun people protecting gun people. We come from a significant gun background.
Right to bear, that's right. Legal protection for self-protection. Listen, good lawyers aren't cheap. Cheap lawyers aren't good. You're not truly prepared unless you have right to bear back you. You will always get an attorney-answered hotline, so you will always have a confidential phone call. There are no cap limits for either civil or criminal defense. This covers all forms of self-defense. So from a fist to a firearm, from a fat lip to a dead body, you are covered, and you will have some of the nation's most passionate 2A attorneys in your corner fighting for you. And right now, if you visit my friends at protectwithbear.com and you use the promo code WGL, you will receive 10% off. Listen, you need to protect yourself so that you can protect them. Visit my good friends at protectwithbear.com. Okay, follow me if you will. Dateline, February 1st, during the DNC convention, even though they had many speakers get up and vociferously demand that they defend DEI, that they have more diversity, equity, and inclusion in the party, they have selected two white dudes as their chair and vice chair. We're not going to waste any time on this dude right here who's now going to be the chair of the DNC, but we are going to focus some attention today on their new vice chair, David Hogg. Who exactly is David Hogg? Well, put in simple terms, David Hogg is the inventor of the term coffin surfer, because David Hogg was in fact a student at the Parkland School that was horrifically shot up in Florida many years ago, and then depending on whose interview you saw, he either was at the school at the time of the shooting or was at home at the time of the shooting and then went back to the school just basically to get in front of some cameras and microphones. David Hogg, however, is an individual who is on the record as stating that he believes that no American citizen has an individual right to keep and bear arms. I want you to understand that, America, that the vice chair of the Democratic National Committee now is on the record of saying that individual American citizens do not have the right to keep and bear arms. He may want to scrub this from his Twitter account all he wants, but it's okay. There is plenty of places where you can go and verify this tweet. Who is David Hogg? Well, apparently he is an individual that the Democrats believe are going to bring in a lot more young and masculine vote. Now, I'm not really certain if this guy right here, who sits like this, is really going to be able to bring in any type of masculine vote to the Democratic Party. I'm not even certain that the Democratic Party offers any ideals at all that would even attract the masculine male vote. Who is David Hogg? Well, David Hogg is Lily Tang Williams' personal punching bag. As many of you may recall, this exchange the two of them had during a symposium on gun control, where candidly Miss Williams absolutely owned Mr. Hogg. Who is David Hogg? Well, David Hogg is a person who gets dunked on social media more on a daily basis than most individuals will get dunked on in an entire year. There are literally content creators out there that have built their entire platform on just dunking on David Hogg. Who is David Hogg? Well, if we're going to use the criteria of hand gestures as articulated by mainstream media, David Hogg appears to be a Nazi. Who is David Hogg? Well, he's a person that believes that you cannot be pro-gun and pro-life at the same time. But ultimately, what David Hogg is he is the great revealer of the progressive democratic movement. Because for years and years, they sat there and tried to pull the wool over the voters' eyes to say that, oh, no, we're not trying to take all the guns. We're just trying to pass reasonable gun control measures. It's all about saving lives. But now their vice chair is absolutely positively and unequivocally on the record as believing that no American citizen has an individual right to keep and bear arms. The veil finally comes off the modern progressive movement because it's not about saving lives. It's not about reasonable gun control measures. It has always been and will always be about absolute and complete civilian disarmament. And so David Hogg will ultimately turn out to be one of the greatest gifts ever given to us by the progressive left. Because now when we're arguing that they're not trying to save lives, they're not trying to pass reasonable gun control measures, what they're trying to do is disarm lawful and responsible Americans nationwide, it will not be our opinion. It will not be our speculation. It will not be our hyperbole. It will be David Hogg's own words. So for all the lawful and responsible gun owners and hunters out there who are not registered to vote, it is game on. If you ever had an opportunity to get into the fight, to save your inalienable rights, this is the time to do it. We're going to put information down below so that all of you can register to vote. This is going to be an all-out war now over the next few years against our Second Amendment rights. The Democratic vice chair has spent his entire life preaching for nothing more and nothing short of civilian disarmament. This will become the mantra of the modern progressive movement, and this will be the battle that we will have to wage for the next few years. But I do want to thank all of the Democrats out there for finally having the courage to pull down the curtain so that the American people can see what your true intent really is. Listen, if you got any more questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, you guys should know how to get a hold of Washington gun law by now, but if you don't, that's okay. That information's down there in the description box. If you got an idea for a video we should be doing around here, all you got to do is click on that link right there and tell us all about it. If you want to subscribe to our monthly newsletter, the ability to do all of that is right down there in the description box. And then finally, and most importantly, let's remember that part of being a lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching, and stay safe.